Hey, don't get me wrong. I love playing around with axes. Axes, chainsaws, all that sort of stuff. It's a good hobby of mine. I think they're a lot of fun. I get a lot of enjoyment out of them. But don't kid yourself. These things will wear you out. When it comes to emergency heat, you know, there's a lot of work that goes into burning wood. Here you go, kerosene. Now, it's not quite as glamorous as, you know, going out and cutting your own firewood and doing all that, but stop and think about it. For emergency purposes, a couple of these cans full of kerosene will do you a lot of good. Stores well. It's pretty inexpensive. And I burn the red dye kerosene in all of my heaters. I've never had a problem with it. And we use them a lot. Think about this. What if you got to evacuate? Or what if your family is out of power and they need some heat? Are you going to carry a full cord of wood around with you? I can load up a couple, 3 cans of these and a kerosene heater, take off down the road. It's easy. This is a style that we like to use. These particular ones are 23,000 BTU. And they'll heat the whole house. But this thing will keep the house pretty good. It's not the safest thing to do, but if you have to, and we've done it just to see if we could, you can pop this top part out, and you can set a pot of water on there and it'll boil. So you can't cook on one of these. Another effect of these is they actually put out a good bit of light. And at night, this puts out all the light you really need. Of course, if the power's out, well, you tend to go to bed when it gets dark anyway. I'll bring you in close. I want to show you a few things about it. This is the 23,000 BTU style. You got a wick in here, battery operated lever here. The batteries are always dead. I always just use a match. It's a lot easier. They burn really pretty efficiently. The main thing you need to remember with these is warm your fuel up to room temperature or as close as you can. I don't know why, but when their fuel's warmed up, they seem to get a little bit better efficiency. Like I said, this thing will heat the whole house. There's not much maintenance that you got to do on these, and I'm going to post a video in the next few days or weeks. I'm not exactly sure on how the maintenance with these works. As with everything, there are a few drawbacks. And kerosene, when burning properly in a heater, is extremely clean. They say that it puts out almost a full gallon of water vapor for every gallon of kerosene you burn. I imagine that's under, perfect conditions. I don't know, but it does seem to kind of humidify the air a little bit. One of the disadvantages is for the first 5 minutes whenever you light one of these, the burner inside there hasn't heated up yet. And there's a lot of fumes that are left unburned. And it smokes a little bit, just a little bit, not much, until that burner gets heated up. That generally takes about 5 minutes. What I do, I take it outside, light it, let it get good and warm. Once it gets good and warm, we'll bring it on in the house, no problem. Absolutely zero smell, zero smoke, extremely clean. They do tend to produce a little bit of smell after you turn them off. You do have to run these full wide open. If you don't burn them at full power, it doesn't completely combust all the fumes and the carbon, and it can lead to some issues. Simple enough, I just leave it at full power. 23,000 BTUs, and it's either on or off. They do make some smaller versions of these that are 10,000 BTUs. There's an argument to be said that a couple 10,000 BTU heaters would be better than a 23,000 BTU. They come in 2 different styles. They come in this convective style and in the radiant style. I'll put a picture in, let you know what one of those look like. The wicks for these cost about $10. I generally change one every year, unless it's a year where I didn't use it very much. Now I know there's going to be some people that are telling me propane. Propane's a great option. I wouldn't have any problem at all running propane. That's what I grew up with, was burning propane. We had a giant propane tank that we'd have filled every 3 years, and that's what we heated the house with. The stove ran off of that as well as the water heater. And propane's good. It's a real clean, nice, even heat, and it's pretty efficient. But when you look at the multifunctional end of things, it's harder to cook off of if you have to. And it also puts out zero light. Zero light. And like I said before, this thing, when it's burning, you really don't need a lantern. It's not lit up the way it is whenever your lights are on, but it does put out a pretty good bit of light. Keep them clean. Take care of your fuel. You get water in your fuel, your wick is gone. You're going to have to replace it. About once a week, if you're burning it a little bit every day, you take it outside about every third tank of fuel or so and let it burn completely out. Dry burn it till it quits burning. And that'll burn off all that junk and goobers and everything else that builds up around there. Hey buddy.
Hey, where's Mom?
She's in the house. Oh, my kids just made it back home from school. Where was I at? Oh yeah, I was talking about the wick. So you'll need to dry burn that about every third tank of fuel. Not that big a deal. Just set it outside. Whenever it starts to get low, move it on outside. It'll stink. You don't want that in your house. That's where having redundant heaters comes in nice. Having a second one of these so you don't have to lose complete heat of your entire house. There's lots of other options out there. We've discussed propane. Wood is nice if it's permanent. But even if you're burning wood, it's nice to have one of these to supplement that if you need to. These are great for heating up areas. I can set this in the hallway between two of our bedrooms and they heat both of those rooms up just fine. Whereas with wood, you may have your stove burning in your living room and you may need something to heat the rest of the house. One of the smaller versions of these, the 10,000 BTU, whether it be the convective or the radiant style. One good thing about the radiant style, you can put that up almost next to a wall. It projects all of its heat forward, so there's no risk of burning what's behind you. When you go to fill these things up, the radiant style have a removable tank. You can remove the tank, carry it outside, and fill it. Whereas with the convective style, you got to carry the whole heater out there. Lots of inexpensive places to buy parts for these. They're easy to put in, easy to work on. You got to go through, clean them out with a rag and every now and then. Sometimes they'll get some carbon buildup in there. You want this window to stay clean so you can observe your flame. Like I said, I'll post another video that pertains to just the maintenance and keeping these things in good working order. But anyway, you guys let me know what you think. What do y'all do? Tell me below. And also check the description. I'll have some links and stuff where you can go and learn a little bit about these. A couple of Amazon links where you can get parts. And right now, these are actually pretty cheap on Amazon. So check that out, and until next time, stay safe.